What's up, Ramblers? Welcome back to our podcast, where my co-host and I ramble all things and no things. I'm Chris.
And I'm Austin.
Let's ramble. So before you start talking, I can't believe we have to start. It's gonna be deja vu for all the listeners. Austin lied to us yet again, and I mean we may not need to call it a lie, but I got a call from your mother, Mama Denise, and she said we're not Turkish. I was baffled. Said what? So I'll give that to you. The floor is yours, sir.
I want to be fair. This is not a lie.
Okay.
While it looks like a lie on face value, right? If you compared it to another lie, it looks very similar to that lie.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not a lie, and let me tell you why. This is not a lie because I truly believed it. First off, I truly believed we were Turkish.
Okay.
Second off, when we were working at the Houston Dynamo down there in the old Houston, the old H-Techs, we met some young ladies with the same last name as us. Unheard of. I've never met anybody with the same last name as me. And as we were talking to them, they told us their last name was Turkish. Okay? At the time, I was like 14, 15. So I was like, if their last name's Turkish, let me tell you what, Chris.
Yours has to be, right?
It's got to be Turkish, right? There's no way around it. You can't have the same last name, right? Different ethnicities, different origins.
But you can't.
Apparently you can.
No, I know you can.
Apparently you can. Turkish is not where we're at. Apparently it's Portuguese.
Very different.
So at least I think. I'm not even going to be like 100% sure what I'm going to say anymore. I think, because I'm not going to get called lying for a third week in a row. All right. So that was a shock to me. My mother actually called me too, and she was like, "Hey, you lied on the podcast." I was like, "No, we're Turkish." And she's like, "Who told you that?" I said, "Dad. Dad told me." Boom.
Papa Denise would not.
And she's like, "Oh, that's weird. Here's Dad." And Dad's like, "We're not Turkish." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was so confident. I was like, "Dad did." Like, Dad was there. That's when I was told.
Man, so how did you feel in that moment? What did your brain do? Did you think about the Ramblers? Was that your first thought? Because that was my first thought. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be known, or you and me by association, the liar hour. It's not even a Ramble hour anymore. It's the liar hour is what you're turning this into.
Well, my first thought was that poor referee, because he was very interested in me being Turkish.
It's so true. It's so true.
He was because he knew all the Turkish referees in the area. And I was going to be another one he added to the list, but now I got to call him and tell him, like, "Hey, man, not Turkish. I'm not going to call him."
No, you should, because it'll blow his. Because he was so sure that Denise was also Turkish.
Correct.
So it's going to blow his mind that you're Portuguese.
When you Google Denise, like the spelling of the word, right, it comes back as Turkish. So it's a Turkish origin meaning word, but the last name is Portuguese, I think.
Okay.
I don't understand any of it anymore. I'm not going to pretend to understand any of it. I'm going to just do what they say in the movie Madagascar. Smile and nod, boys. Smile.
I had no idea where you were going to go with that.
That's what I'm going to do. Whenever somebody tells me something, just smile at them real pretty and nod. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was smile and wave, boys.
It is, but I'm changing it to smile.
Okay.
A little play on words there, Christopher. It's a little play on words.
These past 2 weeks have kind of led me into something that the listeners, it'll help them kind of understand us better. That one of the biggest differences we have is our schooling background. And I'm starting to
say, you sit when you pee and I stand when I pee. That's not where we're going with this?
No, that's next week's episode.
Got it. Heard.
But our school backgrounds, because you can't count. You don't know, apparently, nationalities or what you are. So I'm starting to wonder, is homeschooling the way to go? Because I was homeschooled and I haven't been a liar yet. I can count. I know where I'm from. And you went to public school. So where's your defense for public schoolers?
I'm gonna say 2 words, and it's gonna blow your mind. And I'm counting on my fingers. 2 words. Ready? Personal check. You're welcome.
What?
I know how to write a check, Christopher.
Oh,
Checks
God.
get you places in life.
That's not a school thing.
I don't have to count for my job.
The check thing has nothing to do
Look,
with schooling.
I don't have to count for my job. I don't have to figure out what nationality I am for my job. But there are times where I have to write a check or do different things for my job. And I can accurately handle that. Can you?
How many times have you ever written a check for your company? Speechless.
0.
Speechless.
But it could come up. It could come up.
It could come up. And you'd probably do the same thing and Google it as I did and forget to write your name on it.
I would not. I lived in an apartment for a long time where I wrote a check every month.
Oh.
So I know how to write checks.
So that's your defense is personal check.
Well, that's a great defense. It is honestly a great defense. I understand that I can't count to 100, and yes, let's even take it one step further and embarrass myself further. My wife's a kindergarten teacher. Guess what? Didn't learn to count from her either. You know? But there's so many more things that you learn in public school than you do in a homeschool, right? Writing checks was a big one, right? I didn't necessarily learn it in school,
You
but
did
you
not
get
learn
that
that in high
experience.
school, middle school, any of your schools.
You have you go somewhere, right? You don't get to just skip your senior year.
Okay.
No comment on that.
But okay, but I would use
I
that
had to
in my
work
favor.
my
I was able to skip my senior year.
That's a terrible thing.
Why?
That's a terrible thing because you became lazy. You got the worst 4 letters together. LAZY, bro.
How did I become lazy? I worked.
Because you didn't do work. You probably didn't get out of bed.
I got out of bed every day.
What do you mean you work? Where did you work? I thought your first job was Bath and Body Works, which was after your sister and I dated.
No, my first job was I worked in a warehouse for a fertilizing company. I worked on
with James, right?
No. I didn't. No, it was.
Oh, okay.
A family friend owned the company. No, James and I never. We only did and then I did design stuff for my parents, like through their sign company. That's when James and I did work together.
Yeah, that's not. Okay, that's fair.
So yeah,
I don't know. I
didn't open a book senior year, and I'm happy about that.
You didn't leave your house.
Nope. Why would I want to?
Hello, there's so many good things outside your house. Whataburger?
If anything, me staying at home prepared me for the life I'm living right now. Prepared me for what you're having to live with.
I mean, while that is the most accurate statement I've ever heard, you could have never predicted that.
No, but hey, look where we are.
The statement you have made is the most accurate thing I have ever heard. That you staying at home, sitting there watching season after season, movie after movie on your projector prepared you for this life is.
It did. It did. It prepared me nicely.
Because, as everyone that's listening, actively with us knows, we're late on this episode. We didn't record Sunday night, right?
We did not.
What did you do since we didn't record? Just curious.
Last night, I actually went to bed early.
Really?
Yeah.
You honestly just blew my mind with that.
I know.
Blew my mind.
I blew my mind too. Because I was like, okay, well, I'm sure they're going to go watch TV. And I was so tired. I laid down and just knocked out.
Really?
Really?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I am honestly shocked with that.
What did you think I did? Sat up all night and watched TV?
Yes.
That's normally what I do. That's what I'll do tonight. That's what I'll do tomorrow night. But last night, I did not.
See, last night, I sat up and I did not watch TV either. But our TV fast was over yesterday.
Oh. So why did we not record last night if you weren't watching TV? You decided, oh, let's push this off till Monday. Typical
No,
public school thing to do.
we went to our church youth night
Oh yes.
where we were within the top 5 oldest people there for sure. Most of them were like high schoolers or into college, and we were definitely some of the older ones there.
Not that old though.
Which was, but we're not that old. No, we're not that old. And we didn't get out of there till like 10:30. So then you got 20-minute drive home, 10:50, and it's like I got to get up tomorrow for work. I still got to do the dishes. I still had to do things around the house. So it wasn't a good time.
See, this is back to the school argument. I am used to being able to stay up late, wake up early, and go straight to work. And you're at home. You just roll out of bed, go to your computer, start working.
Yeah, well, I had a real busy day at work today, and I won't say what I did, just in case my employer ever listens to this for some reason.
Right.
But let's just say, man, I'm glad the TV ban is lifted.
Have you watched the Game of Thrones episode yet? Are you back to it?
I have watched a Game of Thrones episode or two, which has been nice. I had to watch the when they're like previously on. Usually,
yeah.
Watch this episode, like this is so stupid. But I had to watch it, and I was like, oh, like I'm glad I watched this because I forgot these different little things, who this person is or what's going on. Because there's a lot of, they all have very like long, lengthy names, or some of them.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, I'm the house of Ned Stark, and it's like, wait, hold on, you're related to who again, and where do we go? And so trying to follow that line is tough.
Yes. Trying to figure out who everybody is associated with is hard in that show.
Correct. And like, I feel bad for the people that were dumb and watched it when it was out on HBO, like live, because you had to wait a week between episodes. Like, there's no way I'm keeping that together.
Yeah, see, I kind of like that though. Like, I love the binging aspect. Like, don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But like, because I'm on the opposite of this.
Really? Okay.
I'm watching WandaVision right now, and it's I'm like back and forth. I'm like, man, I really wish I could just watch them all at one time. But then I'm also like, I like having this suspense of what's going to come next, and I have a week to sit on that episode and just like figure out like what could happen, what's not going to happen, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you have a week to figure out what could happen. I just have to click next episode and figure it out. There's no thinking.
So you don't have time to dissect it.
I don't need to dissect it. What is this, science class?
No. I don't know. I've been sitting on that lately.
You're going back to your homeschool days where your mom was like, "Hey, Chris, I know it's 9:30 at night on a Thursday, but tomorrow's science day and we got to dissect frogs. So can you go catch them?" Like, how does that work?
No, we didn't. I didn't go catch my own frogs. They sent them to us in the mail.
You just open them up and start cutting?
Yeah, you get this like little kit, and it's like a 8-9 week kit, and like starts off with like a bug, a little worm, like a snake, all the way up to a fish. And you have a frog in there and a fish, and you get the little utensils. You cut them on open. They stunk, but we did it. And guess what? I did that in my pajamas in the backyard.
I mean, that right there is impressive. I had to get dressed every day.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I got given free clothes for going to school.
Well,
there.
Well, I mean that's nice, but I had home cooking every day for lunch, so.
So did I. It's called leftovers, bro.
Well, mine was fresh.
I'll take the peanut butter and jelly. I played public school soccer.
I mean, I played soccer.
Okay, well, so did I. So that's not the same thing.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as like public school soccer.
Spell select, then spell high school soccer.
But they're the same. I mean, they're like, I'm not saying they're the same thing, but I'm saying it's a similar.
There's way more passion in high school soccer.
I was about to say select's way more competitive.
Yeah, it's more competitive because you could build the team you want, but there's more passion in high school, 100%.
I don't think so. All the kids I knew hated playing for their high school team.
You didn't know the right kids. There's so much passion because you're playing for something bigger than yourself. You're playing for like a Lone Star or an Albion. No one cares.
So what, you're playing for your high school that like in 10 years nobody's gonna remember who you were?
That's not true. I still am in the record books for the most yellow cards. Suck it.
You have the most yellow cards?
Absolutely.
How many did you have? If you broke the record, how many did you get?
I had 27 my whole career there,
Freshman to senior year.
freshman to senior year.
That's insane. That is an insane amount of yellow cards.
Most of them came junior, senior year. Because freshman year I played on junior varsity and I only got like 1 or 2. I didn't play it all sophomore year. Like I played that's not true. I played 2 games sophomore year, about 5 minutes each game, and got a yellow card both of those games.
Okay, so that's 4 yellow cards.
I remember
You got 21 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
I never got a red card though. Never. I've still never been red carded.
Really?
I remember the first time I played sophomore year, we were playing at a school called Cy Ridge, and I had a buddy who I played club with there, and we were winning 5-0. Score was 5-0. My coach was like, "Hey, Austin, your turn to go in. Like, we're not gonna lose this game. Let's get you some play time, right?"
Oh,
so
boy.
I got up there, and I'm on the halfway line. Sub, I go in, and it's their throw, and so I put my hand on this guy's back, and because I'm ready for this throw, and I'm gonna compete when it goes in the air. Goes in the air. I jump. He jumps. I push him because I'm like, I'm gonna win this ball. Like I'm gonna show you I'm gonna win this ball. And sure enough, I got a yellow card. So I take the yellow card. I got to leave the field in high school. I go sit down, and my coach is like, "Where you going?" I was like, "Well, I got a yellow card. I'm not going back in." He's like, "I didn't say that. Come back over here." He's like, "Get another one, and I'll kill you." I was like,
"Oh my god!"
So that one I remember very vividly, very vividly.
Man, what a high school career! Your first 5 minutes of playing, and you get a yellow card.
I had so many yellow cards in freaking high school. It wasn't even funny.
That's insane.
I wish I knew why I had this thing for yellow cards. I just really liked the color.
I guess so. I mean, man.
But I did have, so speaking of high school soccer, right? I'm reffing high school soccer, but I called my parents the other day to tell them kind of about some reffing things and things that I had. And before I got into the story, I said, Mom, Dad, Big Dog, I wanted to let you know, like, I was a total jerk in high school to these referees.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was the worst. I would call them inappropriate names. I would do inappropriate things. I would have an attitude with them. And I mean, as I'm reffing now, I realize how annoying that is.
Right.
And like, but also I realize how easy it is to like shut that up if you want it to.
Yeah. As how
easy it is to shut that down. Correct. With no problems. If you want to, you can shut it down.
Right.
So I got a few stories with this.
Okay.
So the other day, it was probably about a week or 2 ago, maybe. I was reffing this game, and it was a high school girls game. It was just a scrimmage, so it didn't really mean anything, but they needed to get ready for their normal district play. And this was like the last scrimmage that was going to happen. So I'm an assistant referee, meaning I'm on the line. I'm kind of running up and down the line with the little flag. I raise my flag and whatnot. And the score of the game is 1-0 at the time to Flower Mound, I think, is the winning team. And the ball goes out of bounds, it looked like the ball went out of bounds. So I'm on the touch line, and down probably about 35 yards, the ball's there. And it's right on the line. It could be in, could be out, but in my way is the head coach of the Flower Mound team. Like, I can't see, right? I can't see through him. I'm trying to lean, but I got to be ready and in my place. And so I call the ball out of bounds. I'm like, hey, ball's out of bounds, going the other direction, right? Not going against the Flower Mound team. And this man we discussed it before the game. I don't know why he told us this. He's in his 60s. He's like 62, 63. Literally blew up at me. I mean, cussed me out.
Really?
Told me that I was the worst referee he's ever seen. I was pathetic. You name it, he probably said it to me. Okay.
Wow.
So during that time, it doesn't bother me. I don't take offense to these type of things, whatever. But the other team takes the throw in. So takes the throw in quickly. His team wins the ball back, and I kid you not, scores within 3 or 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Just boom, 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 so fast, scores a goal. And so me being the person that I am, and knowing I can say whatever I want without getting in trouble, I ran over, or I jogged down the line to him, not like sprinted. I jogged nicely over him, and I looked him dead in the eyes, and I said, "Was it worth it?"
Like, look at me. What a mic drop. What a moment.
And so he looks at me and he says, "It breaks their transition of play, or how they're playing, like their rhythm." And I looked him dead back in the eyes. I didn't flinch, and I said, "But was it worth it?" That's the question.
Maybe they needed it. Maybe they wouldn't have scored if you didn't make that bad call.
Right. And so then I jogged back down the line, and I was done with talking to him at that point. And then 3 or 4 minutes later, I'm back down there where he's at. And now he wants to apologize. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. It gets the best of me, this, that, and the other." And I'm like, bro, you better just relax. Like, so annoying. Like, was it worth it? Like, what did you get out of screaming and cussing at me? First off, you're not hurting my feelings. Second off, that's a good way to get thrown out of the game if I care enough.
Yeah.
Like, what did it do for you? And so I went home that night and I Googled his team, because his team was really good. So I Googled his team. That was the #1 girls team in the state of Texas for 6A.
Wow.
So like for their division or whatever, that's the #1 team in the state of Texas.
All of Texas.
And so I'm thinking, all of Texas.
Dang.
That's their ranking. They haven't played, right? That's their ranking for this year.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, you're gonna act like that, being the #1 coach and the #1 team in the state of Texas, playing a scrimmage against this team that was basically the blind.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay? And you're gonna blow up over a throw-in call.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who knows if a call actually happened that mattered, what you would say.
Right.
So that was rough, but fun in the same breath. I'm not going to take offense to it.
I think you should try and break the record of getting yellow cards to giving them this season.
I don't know if there's a record tracked on that.
Well, then let's set one. I'll call Guinness. I'll get Guinness out to you, and we're gonna get you in that book.
Well, okay. I can look. I already have 2 given out. 2.
Yeah.
So I'm already on a good roll. So the first one, it was my first center game. I was centering a JV boys game, and it was cool, right? It was a little nerve-wracking because all the coaches want to yell at you and tell them they want to say how they feel, and cool, whatever. You don't hurt my feelings. And so we were going along, and I was blowing my whistle when I thought there was a foul, giving the calls, and talking to the coaches, because one of the coaches had a problem with me. So I went over there and talked to him a little bit, and he was trying to argue with me. And I was like, "Look, man, it's not really an argument. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, there's no need to speak to me. We're good, And so one of the players fouls another player. And I was like, "Hey, number 19, come here. Like, I want to talk to you, man to young man, right? Junior varsity. I want to have a conversation with you. Come here." And he kept walking off. And I was like, "19, I saw what you did. Come here. Like, let's talk about this."
Mm-hmm.
And he proceeds to say something along the lines of, "You don't know what you effing saw," or something along those lines, basically trying to come back at me. So I was like,
loudly or like under his breath?
Loud enough for me to hear, and I was probably 10, 12 yards away.
Okay.
So he didn't like shout it, but he said it in probably a normal voice.
Like, so it was like him responding to you, not like under his breath, like hoping you
Correct.
Hear it, but loud enough. Like, okay.
Correct. So he was definitely trying to respond. So I was like, "Okay, well, we'll end this here. I'm not going to talk to you any longer." So I gave him a yellow card. I was like, "Here it is." Wrote it, and I was like, "You got to leave the field."
Was he facing
held
you
it up
or
and
turned away?
Boom. He was like side to me.
Okay.
So like, yeah, shoulder was facing me probably, and so held the card up. Here it is. Wrote it down. Wrote the time down or whatever. And I was like, you got to leave the field. And he looked at me and I was like, you have to leave the field. Like in high school, you have to leave the field. Bye-bye.
Right.
And so got that business done. And then funny enough, at the end of the game, the coach comes over to me and apologizes. He says, I'm sorry, number 19's an a-hole.
Really?
Okay.
His own coach.
Okay. His own coach. And then he comes back over to me and he wants to talk about the yellow card at the end of the game. And he's like, hey, why'd you give me the yellow card? And I said, here's what I heard and why I did it. And he said, no. He said, I was going to pick up my shin guard. I said, look, man, number 19, whatever. I didn't know his name. I said, this isn't an argument, right? You came and asked me why I gave you the yellow card. I'm providing an answer, right? So don't tell me what you were doing. I'm not asking questions. Here's why I gave you the yellow. And he says, well, I was getting my shin guard. You're not listening. Here's what it is. So then the AR comes over, funny enough, and the AR's like, you were giving me attitude as well. I would walk away before he ends up giving you a red card. Like, the game's over. I can still give you any cards I want. Yeah, I can get whatever I want. As long as I am on the field, I rule the field.
Oh, that's insane.
So, if I'm there for, pregame, for example, if I'm there for pregame, checking the nets or checking the field or whatever, and somebody says, F you, referee, I can give them a red card right then and there. Boom.
What?
Because it is now my field to run. Yeah, seriously. That's what it says in the rules.
That's insane.
It's crazy. I was like, really? But the most messed up thing that I've ever heard, the most messed up high school rule I've ever heard, Christopher, and this is not a joke. If I blow the whistle for halftime, okay, tweet, tweet, halftime, and a player comes over to me and cusses me out, spits at me, does whatever he wants to do, and I give him a red card, when they start the second half, they still get all 11 players. They don't go down a player. Okay.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
I mean,
it's very strange.
Well, at that point, it'd be the equivalent of they go to halftime and one of the guys from the bench comes over and does that to you.
If it was the bench, I'd understand. But I'm saying a player who's on the field standing right next to me.
Well, no, I'm saying, but once at that halftime, everybody's in the same position. They're all on the same thing at that point. It's you don't know who could start coming back out.
True. It's just very strange that they wouldn't go down to 10 players.
Yeah.
I think they should, right? That's the whole point of a red card.
Well, not if you're giving it to somebody on the bench. You wouldn't lose a player.
Them on the bench, that's true. But if they're out there playing actively, right, and making a silly
they're
decision,
not actively playing. It's halftime.
They are. They're still active in the game. Everybody's active in the game.
Everybody, exactly.
So if it was halftime and a bench player cussed me out and I red carded him, I think it should still be 10 players. You decided to make a stupid action. It's not my fault. I'm not making the action.
It would be during the game of play.
I would have to disagree. I mean, I know what the rule is. You're saying what the rule is, and I that's what I go with. But that's what I disagree with the rule there fully.
Bring it up to the soccer courts.
You think I have that kind of pull? I mean, I know we run Ramble Hour, which has a lot of subscribers.
I mean, hey, man, if we need to get a rules official on here, just say the word. I'll get someone on here.
We might need to.
All right.
We might. If we could also get my assigner who assigns me games, because I still haven't been paid for a few games back in December. So if we could get that working too, that'd be really.
Should we call him on the next pod? And ask
we might need to. We might need to just throw a little insert in there. Hey, haven't been paid. Kind of a different month now. 2 months even. But anyhow, so I gave another yellow card on Saturday, so just a few days ago, and I wasn't even the center. I was on the AR position, which is even the best story ever.
Can you?
I mean, I didn't physically hold the card, but I told the center to give the card.
Before you get into the, can you if you're an AR, can you give a yellow card?
Yeah.
You could?
I can't. No, I can't give it to him, but I can
tell the ref.
Recommend or tell the center to.
So this is what you did Saturday. You told the center.
Yeah. So there's 2 ways to do it. The correct way is if there's a foul, you're supposed to raise your flag, wiggle it. That means there's a foul. Point the direction of it, and then you're supposed to tap your pocket with your other hand, meaning hey, he deserves a yellow card.
Okay. Is there a different tap for the red card?
That would be your back pocket in the butt region.
Oh, so you put the cards in 2 different pockets?
You're supposed to.
Okay. Okay.
I don't. It's all coming out of the same thing anyhow. But a lot of people, you should,
Okay.
because that way, as a spectator, if I'm going to like my front pocket to pull a
I know
card,
it's gonna
I'm
be
not
yellow.
pulling out a red card.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. So as the red or as the coach or whatever, you kind of have
An idea.
knowledge prior to what's happening. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this guy, so the ball was on my side of the field. The referee was looking at the ball. The ball got cleared away, so the referee turned his back, and when he turned his back, another player completely like football tackled another guy. I mean, absolutely blew him up.
Dang.
All right. So I didn't stop the game. I didn't call a foul or anything. I saw it. I watched him do it. And I let the game play for another minute or two until there was a nice stoppage. And then I called the center over to me and I was like, hey, this is what happened. That guy, number 13, he needs a yellow card. And so without even question, the center walked over. He said, number 13 on yellow? I said, yes, sir. Without question, he walks over to the yellow card, gives him a yellow card. Number 13 starts asking questions, and the ref's like, I don't want to talk to you. You need to be off the field. That's all that's going to happen. And so the coaches are getting irate at this point because, the center's not telling them what happened, which he should tell them what happened. And so he's like, we'll talk about it at halftime, but you need to understand that everything on the field is seen. And so then he kind of went off to continue reffing the game. They talked about it at halftime. It all got squared away. That guy didn't end up getting red carded, luckily. But I ended up giving a yellow card from the AR spot.
That's insane. I've never heard that in my life. That is insane. But hey, I mean,
that right there is how I'm
2 yellow cards.
Exactly. I'm going to become the most yellow carded referee giving 2021. That's my goal.
I say you go for it. And you know what? I'll give you a nice round number to beat. 25.
25. I think I could beat 25.
You beat 25 yellows in 2021. I will gift you a golden yellow carded trophy.
First off, you have to find one of those. That's going to be the most.
I'm just going to buy a yellow card and spray paint it with gold spray paint. And then I'll put it like on like a stick or something. It'll look fancy though. I'll spray paint the stick gold too. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I'll make one.
I want to make sure. That's very important for me.
It'll be homemade.
It all needs to be gold. That's
yes. I want a ceremony
made with love. I like that. I will appreciate the ceremony. Maybe we can live stream it to those who watch.
Yes.
I'm a live stream type of guy.
Yes, and we can do it through Instagram Live or something like that. But you have to beat. You can't tie 25. You have to beat 25 yellows.
Well, I'm already at 2. So if I give a red, does that count anything towards the yellows or no?
No. If it's a direct to red, no. If you do yellow building up to it, then of course that's 2 yellows. But you have to hold the yellow card up. You have to hold the yellow card up 26 times.
Well, 24 now. Because I've already held up 2. Well,
I'm saying throughout the season, it has to be.
So wait, I have to hold it up so like my one where I called it from the AR doesn't count?
I'll give you this one, but we'll have to discuss each time you could give it from the AR spot.
So basically what you're telling me is I need to ask the center if I'm the AR, like, hey, I know it's your role. Can I borrow the card and just hold it for you?
Yes. Even if he's the one making it, like, hey, when you're going to give a yellow, point to me, I'll hold the card up. I'm trying to break a record here.
Yeah, because here's the thing. We may never know what game you're going to show up to visit to see if I'm telling the truth or not.
Exactly. And when I do, and I find out you're lying, the listeners will know. I mean, they won't be surprised at this point. We're 2 weeks in a row. They won't be surprised, but they may be surprised.
Spoiler, Ramble.
Telling the truth.
Coming to visit.
They may be surprised if you actually tell the truth.
Oh, I tell the truth. Okay. Look, in the end of the day, we all know you're not coming to visit, so I'm not worried.
I will one day.
You're too busy taking Instagram photos with your dog.
Hey man, she's.
There's no way because I only rep on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh yeah, I'll never be up there for a game.
She is.
I'll
So
never.
exactly. So I'm not too worried about it.
Well, you got to start like
Worried about it.
repping other stuff outside of high school, like select soccer, rec
I don't know.
soccer. No,
I
you
would.
need to do adult co-ed. That's what you need to rep.
Why that?
Have you ever been to one of those games? Those people get crazy. They lose their minds on the referees. So that in one game you could probably 22 players on the field. You could probably get 22 yellow cards in one game. I promise. I guarantee you.
In the Sam, your sister and I, my wife, we played co-ed soccer,
Yeah.
and in the first game we played, some dude basically ripped my shirt off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they get crazy. These people think they're like retired USA national players.
Some of them might be.
I mean,
I think I've seen Landon Donovan out there, believe it or not.
oh, from California, he's been in Houston or Dallas to play soccer.
You got to travel where the good soccer is, bro. When you're that talented, you come where the good co-ed is.
It ain't in Texas.
What? Why not?
Other states would focus more on soccer than we do.
I don't know. If you ask 2006, 2007, we had the best MLS team.
Yeah, yeah. And look where that got us. 14 years later, we got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That is accurate. That is accurate. I think it's really because I stopped volunteering there. That's what it was.
That's what it was. That's what it was. They lost their Portuguese Denise.
Yeah, exactly. They might still have the Turkish, but they don't have the Portuguese.
Your Turkish sisters are still there, but they're looking for you.
Amen. So going back to championships in sports, obviously the Super Bowl is here this weekend.
Yes.
On the 7th, we're finally here with some good commercials, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So some hopefully good football. I've cleared my day. I got church in the morning, football in the evening, and nothing else on the docket. Maybe a nap.
But yeah, you'll need a nap. You'll need a nap because it's a long day watching all that.
You know, I think I'm gonna make some queso, little chili.
Yeah.
Inviting no one over.
No. I'm trying to figure out my menu.
What was your menu last year? Just a bunch of candy bars.
No, I did. Oh man, I had so much last year. I did pigs in a blanket. I did queso. Like I made like cheese. No, I guess it was just queso. I thought it was more of like a cheese dip. It was queso. I did the pigs in a blanket. I had 4 or 5 king size candy bars. I had a bag of Muddy Buddies. I had a bag of shoestrings. I think a bag of Doritos, and some ice cream, some sort of ice cream.
And just so we're all clear on the podcast, that was all eaten within the 3.5-4 hours of the Super Bowl.
I think the only thing I didn't finish was the family-sized Doritos, but everything else did not last to Monday. It didn't even last to 11:59 of Sunday.
That is disgusting. I don't know how. First off, I don't know how you weigh a whopping 95 pounds sopping wet.
I said sopping wet the other day, like referring to something like about Pippa's weight, and Alex like, what's that even mean? She never heard it before. She never heard that before.
I got 2 words: public schoolers, bunch of losers.
I'm telling you, man, you're one of them. You guys were more sheltered than homeschoolers. That's all I'm saying.
That's not true. I've met some of those homeschoolers. That is not true.
Buddy. Easy. That's my kind.
I met some of those homeschoolers on the old HCYA soccer team. Yeah, don't think so, Tim. You don't know nothing about sheltered. Whew, Lord. But yes, so Super Bowl. So I'm curious. First off, without knowing too much about it, hopefully you haven't spoiled yourself because I know there are commercials out there early and you can get easy access. You already spoiled yourself?
I don't like saying that. It sounds like I soiled myself. So let's not say that statement again. But I saw one today. I watched one. I couldn't not watch it.
You could. You actively chose to watch it.
I did. I was like, man, I got to see this. So,
what commercial was it?
It was the new Uber Eats one with the Wayne's World guys.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so what company or what? So first off, first question: what company or what brand do you think will have the best commercial?
It's always
Second
Budweiser.
question. Second question, which is fairly obvious: who will win the Super Bowl?
So Budweiser always has the best because they always have the dog with the Clydesdale. That's the horse they have, right?
They're not having a commercial this year.
Are you kidding me?
They already announced it.
Then I'm not watching any commercials. If I'm not getting a Clydesdale and a puppy, what's the point?
You're not. I think. I'm not gonna lie and go 100% in.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm gonna go at like a 63%, just so we're clear. So if I'm 40% off, it's not too bad. I think they're replacing it with like some type of like COVID or first responder thanks commercial, as opposed to like a typical Budweiser commercial.
Oh, see, I thought a couple of years ago they did that. Like they did. I maybe it was like a Harvey or just hurricanes in general. But I thought they did that and a dog pony one. But that okay. Well, I mean, I respect that. Then I definitely can respect that. I thought you were just saying they weren't doing a commercial at all.
No, I think they're doing something not Clydesdale and dog related.
Man, okay. Then I don't know.
So obviously, best commercial. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP? Just curious on your thoughts.
So if whoever wins, the quarterback's going to be the MVP.
Okay.
Of this game, that's just my opinion. But then again, the Super Bowls never go that way. But the Buccaneers, they're going to win. Tom Brady, he knows how to do a Super Bowl. He knows it.
But he also knows how to do an AFC Championship game, and he lost last year.
Yeah, I mean he's lost Super Bowls before too, but I don't know. I don't see him losing this year.
So you think Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and is MVP?
Yeah.
Does he retire?
No, he will not retire. That's just like most quarterbacks. If Aaron Rodgers won and played in the Super Bowl and won, he'd retire. Drew Brees would retire. Philip Rivers would retire. Tom Brady won't, because in his mind he's like, I'm at the top of my game right now.
Huh.
I mean, just last year, this dude was at the Super Bowl, of course, because he was one of the best players, like one of the top 100 players. He said last year, he's like, I will not be wearing a suit in the Super Bowl next year. And here he is. I think the only way not only way he retires, but like when he retires is when he cannot play anymore because he's like just too old and it's the kind of thing of nobody will take him. Or he has like a really bad injury that he can't come back from, kind of thing. Like it'll take too long, and by that point he'll age out, kind of thing.
Interesting.
I mean,
I know that's just part of your man crush.
It could be. I may be very biased, and he may retire before the game. I don't know. But what I'm saying, I don't see him retiring for a couple more years, especially with the way he's playing right now. It's insane.
Fair. I think, since you asked, thanks.
You didn't even give me time.
I think the Chiefs are going to win.
No one cares.
Obvi. And I think, and this is an unpopular opinion right here. I think they have a guy on their team. I think his last name's Hardman. Don't know his first name.
Nicole,
like the girl?
Nicole, like N-E.
Oh, okay.
Or Nicole, yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Okay, I think he is going to be the MVP because, let me explain why. I think there are going to be 3 touchdowns on special teams, and he's going to be a part of all 3.
3 special teams touchdowns just by the Chiefs alone?
No. No, that's not what I'm
So
saying.
if the Buccaneers get a special teams touchdown, it's because this guy fumbled the ball.
Or I think he's a gunner as well. That's the reason I said it.
I don't think so.
I thought he was a gunner as well. That's why I was like, I think he's going to get all 3 special teams touchdowns.
I don't know.
Anyhow, I think there will be 3 touchdowns, right? 1 will be a botch by the Buccaneers, but 2 will be scored for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that he will score 2, if not all of them.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I mean, that's out there in left field.
That is a prediction. That is a prediction.
But here's the thing: if I'm right, the amount of
Oh, you look brilliant. You look like
I
the
look
smartest man on earth.
boom, I could go on any talk show radio, show them this recording, and say I said that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Barstool Sports Who be my show now.
Oh, it'll be the whole company will be yours.
Absolutely, Dave would back out because of me.
So that's
When you make that bold of a prediction and you're right, you have to. You got it.
I mean, if that happens, I will give you all the props.
Mm.
But when it doesn't happen, I will bring it up again. So just be prepared.
That's fair. That's fair. You got to make bold predictions to be bold rightness.
Yes, yes.
You know.
I'm excited for this Super Bowl because it's like a couple years ago when the Patriots played the Rams. I mean, I love Brady, but I also love Mahomes. So I'm happy either way with whoever wins.
Fair.
So I just want a good football game. I want a high scoring football game. I want like 53-50 kind of football game, all touchdown passes.
So you want the Rams Chiefs last year where it was like 47-46.
Exactly. That's what I want. I want a high offensive game.
I just don't know if it's going to go that way.
No, I mean, there's like a 98% chance it won't go that way, but that's what I would like to see.
I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. You know, I got to make sure I go stock up on snacks before we get there.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm going to have snack wise.
It's so hard to decide this early on. Like I won't be able to decide till Saturday.
Because you got to feel what you really want behind it.
Yes.
You know, and those are some tough choices.
Yeah. Also, Saturday, I mean, I don't know if I'll have stories, but this goes back to the whole homeschooling thing. My wife and I were asked to be chaperones at the homeschooled prom.
Oh, gracious. Are you going?
You were going to do it.
Oh, my. So y'all have to get dressed up.
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what we have to wear or anything like that.
Well, I mean, it's a fancy thing, so I would assume you got to dress up. I mean, at ours, all the chaperones were dressed up. Very nice.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know if I didn't know homeschoolers had them. Who do you go with? Brother and sister?
Shut up. No, our problems are a little different. It's like anybody in high school can go.
Oh, like even freshmen?
Freshmen up to freshmen in college can go.
I think freshmen in college could go for public school too. Like if you dated someone who was older,
okay,
they could come back.
So yeah, we are the chaperones of the dance floor.
Okay. Let me give you some advice. I got this advice. It just popped into my head actually. At Walmart, they sell these things. They're give or take 12 inches. They're about $1, and they're made of wood.
Oh, so a ruler.
Yeah, I knew there was a name for it. And make sure
a ruler, public schooler.
I knew it. I was joking, Christopher.
Okay.
And take this ruler and make sure there's room for Jesus between every couple that's dancing.
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that.
I will give you $5
for every couple.
No, $5 to do it.
No, that's not worth it. The ruler's gonna be like.
I will give you $5 to do it to 2 couples, and it has to be on video though, and it can't be a Van Horn because that's not fair.
Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll make this happen. I'll make it happen.
Because I would love to see you just walk up with a ruler and be like, make sure there's room for Jesus and hold it in between them.
We'll see. We'll see.
Especially on the slow dance songs. That would be classic.
It would be classy.
Absolutely classic. That would be the highlight of my whole existence right now.
I didn't even think about having to dress up, man. That would mean I need like a haircut and like a beard trim.
Yeah. Because your bald face is now hairy again.
It is. It only took a month.
It only took 1 month to get it back. It's going to have to be trimmed up, haircut done. You got to put on, just wear what you wore to your wedding. Tell Alex to wear what she wore to the wedding. That'll be great. Just re-prepare like you're getting married.
I'll wear my velvet jacket again.
I
wear that as much as I can.
Duh. That was a classy velvet jacket.
Yeah. Any chance I get, I'm gonna wear that jacket.
Yeah. I mean, I so who's all gonna be chaperoning? Do you know, or did you just got asked and said yes?
Yeah, we got a text and they said if we would do it because they're like, we just know the kids would not like don't want their parents to be in the dance room. So they asked if we could do it. I was like, sure.
That's because they're going to be bumping and grinding, and the ruler's going to become very important.
I don't-
Christopher, did you go to prom?
yeah,
There was no bumping and grinding at your prom?
no. Like there was maybe 3 slow dances, if that, and the rest was like In Sync, Backstreet Boys. Like
Okay. So at public school,
our proms, our proms are very sheltered apparently.
yeah, because it doesn't matter in a public school prom if they're playing Backstreet Boys and in sync, there's just bumping and grinding going on. It don't matter.
Oh boy, yeah. So that another one, homeschool wins.
Very much so. Very much so. I was not a fan of any of the dances of any kind. It's all very weird.
Yes.
All very weird. Did you guys do, or and you may not know this, if did they do this when you were a senior? Did they do like a thing called like Project Prom or something along those lines?
What was it?
Project Prom. So like what it was for us is you had prom, and so prom was like, let's just call it 7 to 9. And then from 9 to 10 there was nothing. You were supposed to like go home and change or whatever. But then from 10 until 6 a.m. there was a party.
No, I was home in bed by like 10.
It was a party put on by the school, and it was like more like dancing or songs. But they would like Mike's. I know Monty, one of our really good friends. His was at Dave and Buster's, so they rented out Dave and Buster's all night.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they got to go and just play games at Dave and Buster's all night. Like
that's cool.
Ours brought in like a mechanical bull, and like there was the little thing where they blow air and you gotta like try and catch all the dollars, and you get to keep whatever you walk out with.
Yeah.
Raffles and like those type of things, just to keep you entertained, mainly so people don't go home and drink that night.
Gotcha.
So that was a big okay.
Again, homeschoolers didn't have to worry about that.
I'm just saying that's a +1 for public schoolers because Project Prom was amazing. I won a $50 Shell gas card.
I mean, I don't know. I was in bed by 10:30 that night, so I think homeschoolers win that one.
I don't know, because what's weird is, you say I want to be in bed at 10:30 or whatever, but ever since you become like a grown adult living by yourself, and whenever we hang out, you're like, so are we staying up all night or what?
Dude, all-nighters are the best, man. But all-nighters like in your own home.
I don't know. That was a fun all-nighter.
Like I was like when churches had lock-ins and stuff, that wasn't my thing. Like I'd much rather just like chill at home, watch TV, watch movies, go get Whataburger at like 12:30, get that triple cheeseburger, and then just hang out.
No, church lock-ins were not for me either. They're boring, generally speaking.
I'm not a big rock climber, and that's where a lot of like the ones
they did the thing.
When I was growing up, that's where they would go.
But for my prom, I went with this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted Nick, because we were really good friends with Nick, another one that Nick Montefusco that we know really well. We wanted him to come to Project Prom with us, but not prom, just Project Prom. And so we were going to buy him a ticket, because as a senior, you could buy someone else's ticket if you had to, because they couldn't buy a ticket. And what was funny is, so me and this girl, we were dating, and we walked up to the table to buy this ticket, and we bought our tickets, and the girl was like, hey, I'm going to buy this ticket for this guy as well, Nick. And the lady was family friends with the girl and was like, well, we can't let you do that because I know you're dating Austin, right? So you can't buy a ticket for someone else. And so I kid you not, this was the funniest thing. She looked me dead in the eyes and she says, okay, we're over. Okay, I'm going to buy him a ticket now.
Oh my gosh.
I laughed so hard because I was like, what does it matter if we want to buy this guy a ticket?
Right.
So needless to say, Nick ended up coming to our Project Prom, and I don't know. I don't remember if he hung out with us or any of that. I just remember he ended up coming with us.
Oh, that's awesome. Was he like 2 grades younger than you?
Yeah, he was a sophomore.
Oh man, okay.
But we just hung out with him a lot, so we were like, hey, come on.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. Needless to say, I didn't drink either.
Look at that.
It also helps that I still don't drink, and I'm almost 30, but that's okay. That's not the point.
You are almost 30. You have 13 days. and you won't be 30, but 13 days and then 28, closer to 30.
I'm almost there.
And you're old.
I'm gonna be 30, flirty, and thriving.
Can you even name the movie that's from?
Nope, but my wife says it all the time. I'm gonna take a guess of 13 going on 30.
Nailed it. There it is. I was about to tell you that's exactly where it's from.
And just so we're clear, that's the only title I knew that had 30 in it, so that's where I went.
That's what I figured. You know who's in that movie?
I couldn't tell you anything about the movie.
The Hulk is in that movie. Mark Ruffalo.
Really?
Yeah.
So like the newer Hulk, not the original Hulk.
The good Hulk. The Hulk that matters. Yeah, the good Hulk.
The good Hulk, the one that we really care for.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta get back to watching some of these things that are showing up on TVs now.
Well, now that you're able to, you just need to start staying up late, waking up early, just binging.
No, see, you value TV a lot higher than I do for that.
Do I?
You value TV higher. I won't stay up that late. I may stay up to like 11, 11:30. And I'm definitely not getting up earlier than I have to. That's a joke. If you can get me out of bed before 6:55 with work starting at 7, consider yourself lucky.
I wish I could sleep in that late. Ever since we got Pippa, she doesn't let me sleep in.
Like, well, do you just get up because she's making noise, or does she like physically not let you sleep in?
She just wants to play in the mornings.
Do you play with her?
Yeah.
You guys take her on a WAOK?
No, not in the morning. We don't go for walks, but like I'll just toys and like the tennis ball and stuff like that in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Soon, because I know every time we're at your house, you're like, no jumping, it's gonna break the floors. Soon, she's gonna break the floors with jumping.
Yeah. No, she's getting huge.
She is a big dog.
And I mean, I know you don't water a dog and they grow, but we gave her a bath last night, and I swear to you, she's like she grew overnight.
Hashtag homeschoolers.
I think we watered the dog too much because it's just the weirdest thing. She just looks bigger now. I don't know.
She looks massive.
She is. Your dog Sloan, is he taller or shorter than my other sister's dog Basil?
He is taller, but like maybe an inch.
Okay, because Pippa is less than an inch shorter than Basil.
Yeah, I mean your dog, you will have the biggest dog in a year.
Can't wait.
Mine, Sloan is done growing. Basil is done growing.
Yeah.
And you will have the biggest dog.
Yeah, she's gonna be. I don't think she'll be thick because she just already is like just lanky for a golden retriever.
Yeah.
But she's gonna be tall.
I think she'll fill in a little bit as she gets older.
Yeah.
But you also have the biggest dog with the smallest yard.
Currently, actually, technically, we have the biggest yard.
Technically, you have the biggest yard, but you don't allow the dog to use the whole yard.
Right. Well, we let her already use it, just not off a leash.
Oh, you walk her in the back?
Yeah, we'll take her through the back sometimes on like a 25-foot leash and just run.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna put a stake in the ground and then just chase her around it?
We've talked about doing that, about getting one of those. It's not a bad idea.
No, I mean, that way, you know she can't run and you don't have to hold anything.
Yeah, and like literally 2 minutes down the road, there's a dog park that nobody's ever at.
You're plenty fine then.
Yeah.
You are plenty fine. So I know that we had our other topic, but I'm going to move that one down just so everybody knows. But I do want to talk a little bit about the movie. The new we're going to start doing a movie thing coming out on Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Movie episode.
Yeah, a little movie episode where we talk about a movie or a season of a TV show or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear thoughts and opinions if you have any of what we should be watching.
Yeah.
So we've picked our first movie, and what we're going to do is we're going to spend this week watching it, and then we'll record on it next week. So it won't. No episode will be coming out this Wednesday or Thursday. It'll come out next Wednesday or Thursday. but we're gonna do this movie, and I hopefully you know where it's on. What social not social media? What platform?
Yes, so it is The Little Things. It's going to be on HBO Max.
Okay. Okay.
And
Perfect.
so, depending on when you listen to this, you have 31 days from uh what what was this past week? January 29th
Oh, to watch it?
to listen to it. Yeah. So if they're like listening to this like 4 weeks from now, probably not
Yeah.
gonna be able to watch it.
True.
But this movie is the one with Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto.
Okay. Oh yes,
So,
yes, yes. I'm very excited for this one.
yes, me too. So yeah, HBO Max, and we will it'll go out what next the 9th or 10th or the 10th or 11th of next week is when we'll release it.
Correct. That's when we'll release it. So if you want to watch along, hear our thoughts, see how they line up with your thoughts on them, we'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
Uh, we're just trying to talk about things. We watched enough movies as it is together, so
Why
why
not talk about it?
why not talk about it? Why not ramble about it? Because as we say, you can't change the world without rambling.
You really can't.
So why not make it more of an additionable thing?
Yes. So and like you said, let us know if you have a movie you want us to watch. We'll do it.
Yeah. Leave your comments on our Instagram, or anywhere that you see. Send us an email, text us what you think we should watch. We're open to pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to stay with more of the newer stuff, because Chris has seen all the old stuff. Because as we heard in his homeschool life, he just sits there and watches movies.
Watch a lot of movies.
We're trying to stay with the newer stuff, but if you have some older things that maybe one or both of us haven't seen, we're still, we'll definitely take it into consideration.
Yeah.
Because I think there's some good movies out there that probably nobody's seen or even heard of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So please feel free to leave your comments on our Instagram page, or text us, or give us a call, or email us, and let us know, what your thoughts would be, or what we should watch next after The Little Things on HBO.
Yes. For Chris and Austin, we love you guys. Until next time, always remember, we can't change the world unless we ramble. So keep on rambling.